Looks like the stream was deleted. What? What? Oh, okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent with Listings to Leads. How are you? We're just getting started here. And let me know if you can hear me okay and you can see my screen. And let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching from what state you're in, are you on YouTube? Are you on our Facebook page? Also, if you're a new client, let me know. And let's get started. Today, it's about top tools for more listings. And it's an exciting time if you're just learning about how to get listings with us, because we've had a lot of tools for many years that have been capturing listings. But this year in 2025, one of the biggest things that happened at the beginning half of the year was our clients, our agents, and our teams started to realize that our open house marketing is it's their top way of getting listings, right? And it's funny because I just had a call with an agent this morning, which I have this kind of call, I'd say 2 out of 5 times, where the agent said, I don't even do open houses. I only do the open house to make the homeowner happy. Nobody comes through the open house. I'm going to show you why you want to be using open houses, because our open houses actually get listings for our clients. Okay. But the other thing, since this summer, well, actually in the past few months, we have been working, leveraging our listing presentation for expired marketing. And we are seeing that reaching out with this strategy, with these tools that are in everybody's account right now, is getting listings all over the country for our clients very quickly, very easily. So we'll talk about that. Okay, so we have Kathleen from Virginia and Barry from Arroyo Grande in SoCal, right? So yeah, that's really it's kind of remarkable what's happening with expired marketing. So we'll get into that, and then in the second half of this call, we're going to talk about some of the traditional tools like Facebook sold ads and Facebook ads that help you get seller leads. And also like the print tools. Some of our print tools get really high quality listing leads, okay? And now that we can, we have multiple ways of capturing seller leads, we have a really awesome platform and tool to help you convert those into business. So let's kind of get into it. So when you log in the first time, and please, if you can, let me know like how long you've been with us, because then I can kind of guess what you know and what you don't know. So there's a setup platform, there's setup wizard when you sign up with us, and it connects your headshot and your branding and your socials. And then we start dropping you here on the dashboard. And the dashboard has a lot of functionality. You can do a lot. You get buyer leads and seller leads. But I want to start here on the marketing calendar. It's the top page. And you'll see this calendar. There's daily tasks. You can do these. There's some free tools in there. There's some paid ads in there. But honestly, if you don't have much business going on, you should get familiar with this and start doing these actions, because it'll get you familiar with what's going on. But it's also like every one of these days is going to help you capture either buyer leads or seller leads, right? So, but the reason I want to come to the marketing calendar is this tab right here, because this is where your resources are. And if you're new to us, you might know, and even if you're a long-term client, you might know that you don't know barely anything about our platform, right? And so we do live training right now about 5 days a week. And right here is live webinars where you can sign up for those classes like the one we're on today. And every class that we do, including the call we're on right now, is recorded and it shows up on our YouTube channel. So if you click here, you're going to get over there. You can follow us on Instagram. And we also have a Facebook mastermind group. So these buttons will take you right here, right? And I want to point this page out first. If you're new to us, and even if you're not new to us, you should see this page. So I'm actually going to send this to everybody right now in the chat. And if you're watching this recorded, you can find this out on, it looks like it's showing up on YouTube. There's something wrong with our Facebook link today. So I want to point something out to you. okay, while we're on this page. We're on our channel, we're on the videos page, and this young lady right here, we just did a call with her last week. Great story. She signed up for a 2-week free trial. I talked to her the day she signed up. We set up a listing presentation for her. She had a listing lead. She had an appointment that she was going to be meeting like in 2 days. She takes the listing presentation. She closes the listing presentation in less than 2 weeks, has it signed, and we've got it in the system. She's running ads on it. She hadn't even paid us a dime. She just signed up and had a free trial and started using the tools. Now, this young lady down here, and this is all relevant to our call, JJ Newman, rookie agent, 3 years out of high school, 14 months as a realtor, finds our listing presentation for expireds and starts going out and hitting it. She actually, well, I'll tell you a little bit more as we get into it. And this guy here, John Summers, another broker client, he's part of an agent, an office of 200 agents. He's new. He's only been in the industry for 15 months, and he's going out using our expired marketing and going out. So I definitely want you to hold on to this and get familiar with that story. I'm going to talk about it quickly here. Scott's also doing live classes, 2 workshops every day. So we'll get a little bit deeper. Now, this is our mastermind group. And if you are a client, you should be in here. So I'm going to send this to everybody as well. If you're not a client and you're just watching this because you're kind of learning about us, you would go over here and click the join button, but we won't accept you unless you're a client. Okay. And on this page, I want to point it out. There's this 30-day challenge you can sign up for. That we have 2 workshops every day, 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 days a week. Okay. Over here, you can order the expired pamphlets. Okay. And let me show you what I'm talking about. This is our listing presentation, but if you see there, it's designed for your expired home. It's branded to you. And this is high quality. We're working with Mailbox Power to do this. It's an awesome leave behind. And the story that I was telling you of John Summers is he's door knocking with these things. Okay. The listing presentation, which I'm going to show you in a moment, we have other clients just texting it, right? Either way, there are many ways to skin this cat, to leverage our tools to capture and convert expireds. Okay. So in the mastermind group, I think we have a link here. Yeah. Join that when you can. Okay. So let's go look at the thing that's actually really causing a lot of excitement. So this year, we've had this listing presentation in like a PDF format, right? You can download it, you can print it, you can take it and meet people. Awesome. I think in February or March, we finally converted this to Flipbook, which that's what we're looking at here. And this is a generic one. So each of you has this in your hands, right? It's in your account. If you go over to listings and you click on listing presentation, you will see that you have a print version and you have a Flipbook version. And that's what this is here. Okay. So we'll just go through it real fast. I think if you listen to those 3 calls of those 3 people I'm mentioning on YouTube, you'll find that this is just walking the homeowner through the process. We do social media marketing, YouTube marketing, print marketing, nearby homeowner letter, email marketing, right? This is what Listings to Leads does. This is like the bread and butter, right? We create the single property websites and virtual tours and, listing flyers. This is everything that you do, right? So there's no word of this of Listings to Leads in this. This is you on the bottom left and your logo on the bottom right. But everybody tells us that when they stop at this page that we're looking at right here and they say, hey, homeowner, why don't you scan that right now? And you will see, boom, their home pops up on a mobile optimized website. This is, let's see, this is actually, I need to get back to the front page. This is the generic one. Okay, so their home will not pop up on it, right? But you can actually create a listing presentation like this one right here for a particular home. One home, their photo on the front. It'll actually say for their name and their address on the cover. And as you go through, you say, hey, this is, I do Facebook and Instagram, and this is what it's going to look like. And I do social media marketing. I do YouTube, and this is what your home's going to look like on YouTube, right? And you go through it, and you get to that QR code, and you say, hey, let's see what happens. Why don't you take out your phone, homeowner, and scan that, and boom, that pops up. And this literally is really closing the deal right away. Right now, if you listen to the call with JJ, you can keep going through here, and it says, oh, I do this kind of marketing, right? It's just the actions. We've even, if you got your reviews in here, we've even got your client reviews here on a website that's mobile optimized, and we have some PDF guides that people can download. So this is great. And if I go to listings, you will see that I created a listing that says listing presentation. And you can do that by going to listings, click on add listing, say manual, and then create. Whenever you come here manually, it's going to say, get this out of the way, just listed, just change it to listing presentation. And when you do that, it's going to say, what's the homeowner's name? Just put their name. The headline is beautiful home in Orlando, the address or wherever the home is, right? You don't need to worry about the price because you're not there yet, and beautiful home in whatever city, and save and add one photo. That's it, right? That's it. And that's going to create a unique listing presentation for one homeowner showing their home on it. Okay. So that's really awesome. So when we talk about these calls over here, which if you're going to leverage our expireds, watch these two with JJ. Watch this one here with John Summers. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a story of what they're doing. So JJ goes to her MLS every day, finds the expireds that she wants to reach. She goes and creates a listing for that as a listing presentation. We don't syndicate this out or publish it or anything. It's just sitting in your account. And then she calls them. She calls them and she says, hey, I saw your home didn't sell. Would you like to talk? Calls them again. She says, nobody ever answers the phone. And then she texts them once. It says, would you like my listing presentation, my custom listing presentation for your home? Okay. And then the next text, she just takes this link, right? So if we go to the front cover of this listing presentation, it is for one home, right? And she copies this hyperlink. She emails it to herself and she texts it over to the homeowner. This young lady, who has been out of high school for 3 years, has 4 listings in 6 weeks. It's funny because I'm seeing a trend. And I'm going to point this trend out, and I'm going to actually write our broker about it. This lady has been a client for a year. No, a realtor for a year. She has been a realtor, I think, for 14 months, and John here, 15 months. They are just using the tools that are in the account. They're not questioning. They're not overthinking it. They are getting it out there. John is printing these up and door knocking and calling them. Watch his call, because he has a really simple, non-salesy phone call that he leaves. He leaves voice messages, and yes, they're calling him back. You should watch these if you want more listings. Okay. A couple questions here. Is the presentation editable? Not really. You can change the photograph, right? I showed you how to create one, and so it's not really much changeable beyond that. So it pulls their house from Google, or do we need to upload our own photo? That's right, Linda. You need to upload your own photo. So you can go to Google Street View and take that photo. Some people even go grab it off of realtor.com, but that's somebody else's photo, right? So I tell our clients, hey, just take your fancy smartphone, drive in front of the house and take a picture horizontal and upload it. And that will be a very high quality image of their home right on there. Take a few, take some that are standing up and that are landscape, so that you have the right one looks in there. You just really need one photo, and that's it. So just as a reminder, you can do this in print, you can send them in text, you can even email them, right? Just however you want to get this. This is going to be compelling for people that want to sell their homes. And who wants to sell their homes? People whose homes have expired. So get involved with this. I would suggest that you take the Zillow Street View photo and put it in ChatGPT to enhance it. Okay. Is it Zillow Street View or Google Street View? I think it's Google Street View, Wade. Yeah, and I think more people are getting comfortable with ChatGPT or other AI to kind of, make it look custom and more unique. Okay, so that's a little bit about the listing thing. I do want to point out in the mastermind group, we have 2 live classes every day. If you want to know more about this, I suggest you get on that, right? And definitely watch those calls that are on the YouTube channel, okay? So let's talk a little bit about open house marketing, because as I was saying, open house marketing, prior to us launching this and going with print on the expired, that was the #1 way of getting listings this year. And like I said, a lot of agents don't even want to hold open houses. And I totally understand that. So I'm going to show you right now why you want to hold open houses, especially if you want more listings. Okay. Now, I think Scott does a class on open house marketing every 2 weeks, and you can sign up for it on our page on the resources, right? And if you go here and look up open houses, you'll see that Scott does this every 2 weeks, and he can really give you the details of how you do that. I'm going to go real fast on how you do that. First of all, you get your listing. This is an open house. If the open house flows in automatically from the MLS, great. If it doesn't, you can click edit and add the open house right here. And you definitely want to do that. Okay. And now there's a few things that you do with the open house that makes it valuable for you, not just the homeowner. And there's a few things you do with other parts of our system to help you convert homeowners as they come through. So I see another question. So let me answer that first. I belong to CRMLS SoCal, right? They have rules that prohibit using CRMLS for targeting expired listings. Where else would you suggest to find those expireds? Good question, Barry. So Barry's MLS does not allow him to kind of look for expireds and then reach out to them. There's a company called MyPlus Leads. They do that exact same thing, Barry. So I would go check them out, okay? John, I would like to know how to do a virtual open house because my condo HO does not allow. I think you need to find a good videographer, John. And once you do that, you can embed that open house in a landing page. Let me show you something real quick. There's a little bit aside, but this is an open house, and we do free social media posting. So if you save the open house, we're going to auto post. It's going to look like this. It looks like an ad, but it's free. And we can post 2 things, either a listing landing page, which is our default. And if you had a video, it would be flowing behind here. Okay. That whole page that you're looking at would be a video. So if you're using a videographer and they're doing an open house, you could put it here. You might also want to put it on our single property website. And actually, this is the virtual tour. So let's go look at the virtual tour. So this is not the virtual tour I wanted. There's actually a virtual tour that is, the whole thing is covered, right? But your virtual tour would be right here. And this is I think it's a Matterport, yeah. But your video could be here. There's a different version. Let's see if I can do it. May not be able to do it because I might not have the right photos here. But we create what we call a luxury virtual tour, and you do need large photos for this, or a virtual tour like you have, John. And this whole page that we're about to look at would be a stream, your video, right? And I think I would embed that here, and I would be running ads on that. I would definitely be running ads on that. Everything about the house is down here, right? So the photos, our marketing plan, get your home worth, your PDF guides, all kinds of stuff. So all the pictures, the description, all that is on here. So that's probably what I would do, right? And then I would run Facebook ads, and I might even do traffic ads. Yeah, hard to say. However, let's talk about what everybody else is going to do, because they can actually have open houses. First, you save the open house. Second, you click Facebook and Instagram. Now, when you click Facebook and Instagram ads, you can run, it's going to be a default $35. I would change that to $50 minimum. Okay. And if it's in Danville, it's going to say Danville and 15-mile radius. If it's in Omaha, Omaha and 15 miles radius. The only change I would really make here is to say that it's open on Saturday, right? Because I want people to click the ad so I can capture the lead, right? Do not put the address in here. That's a problem, right? I mean, because you definitely know that somebody will take that and go over to Zillow and go check out the house. So you want to capture the lead. I suggest put the date right there or the day right there, and you click create ad. That $50 ad will probably be seen by somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 people. Okay. And with that, you'd probably catch somewhere from 12 to 15 buyer leads with name, email, and phone number. So you're letting a lot of buyers know that I'm having an open house. And that's why you might want to put the address, but I just don't. I think you're going to give that away. And I just don't know if I would do that. Okay, so that's step number one. Step number two is go over here to seller social media, and we email this to you. We actually email this to you, but since we're talking and I'm right here, I'm going to just show you what you do. You forward the email. There's actually instructions, and those instructions usually confuse agents because it's talking about Sally Seller and you don't know what we're talking about. But that's, this is what you do. You forward the email and you take out what's not necessary, right? And you send them just what they need, okay? And here's why, because it says we're having an open house on Saturday and you at your office is doing a lot of marketing. You're the realtor, okay? And so if your client pushes this, and you would want to call them and you email it to them and you say, hey, I put it in the MLS. I'm getting all my signs ready. I'm doing everything to make sure this is success. Would you put that on your Facebook wall, homeowner? Because people are going to see this and maybe they want to buy your home and we can get the highest price for you, right? So you want to take that. That's free. It lives there forever. And it's great if you like referrals. But you see this one here, it says nearby homeowner letter. There are 3 versions. I think I have one open right here. Yeah, this is the version. This is the reason why you want to hold open houses. If you want more listings, because you print up 50 of these or 100 of these and you door knock the neighborhood. Now, I know Barry there probably isn't going to be able to do that either, but who knows? So you give this to the homeowners and it says, I got an open house. There's the address and time. Come check it out, or scan this or go here and go check it out. But then this piece of paper says this affects your home value and go here to get your free home value now. So the only people that are going to go through that exercise are people that are thinking about selling their home. And if they don't feel like going to their own computer and they just want to do some market analysis and go see what's happening, they'll go to your open house. Okay. So this is why we have had a lot of agents and a lot of our top teams hosting 2 to 4 open houses every week. Because here's the thing. In a few minutes here, I'm going to start showing you how to capture leads, right? How to mail things and how to run ads and capture leads. And you'll probably be excited about that. You'll see like, oh, I got a lot of leads from these Facebook ads and stuff like that. But now you got to convert leads, and converting leads can take, I don't know what, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. When you're meeting homeowners and you are showing them the value that you bring, and we have tools to help you do that, whether it's through an expired or a home open house, you're going to be closing those people much faster. Okay. That's why you want to be hosting 2 to 4 open houses every week and reaching out to the expireds, either with print or with text or whatever, any way you want with our tools. These 2 actions are going to get you more listings this year and we're at the halfway through we're almost at the end of the year, and definitely next year. You need to put these in your business continually, constantly. Now, let's see here. Let me see. I got a couple questions. Linda, Barry, are you sure you can run a search for expireds? So Linda thinks, Barry, you might not be right. Barry meant, are you sure you cannot? Because, yeah, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, Linda's saying she's not sure. She thinks she can do it. Anyway, okay. So what we've done here are 3 things. We shared it on the seller social media to get their friends and family and colleagues to become clients of you. We've run ads on Facebook with a 15-mile radius to let buyers know you're having an open house. And we've door knocked 50 or 100 nearby homeowner letters to let the neighbors who own homes come into your open house, right? Now, here, open this open house sign-in form, and this you can use if you have a laptop or you have Wi-Fi and an iPad. Just click on this and say, hey, we'd love your feedback. Answer the couple questions here. We're going to send you a mobile optimized website. Next page, just ask for your email. We'd love your feedback. Please let me know. And let them fill that out, right? So that's ready. That's the picture of the house on it. So, it's all relevant to that open house, okay? There are listing flyers if you want that sort of thing. But that's kind of what you do, to market the open house. Okay. We also have a e-flyer for your database. So if you have a deep database, a deep CRM, this e-flyer, which you can copy up here, has 1, 2, 3 call to action, 3 links to get them to become buyer leads, and then 1, 2 here to get your home value. That affects your home value. And down here, get your own home value. Okay. So one email can capture a lot of leads. All right. So that's how you market the home. Over here, this is where you need to build your toolkit for your open houses. Yes, Adrian, you can do this for open houses that are not your listing. That's what a lot of new agents do. They borrow open houses, they pull them in their account, and they use the tools I've just shown you. Now, these tools you can have, it doesn't matter if you have a listing or not. There are 80 PDF guides for each of you in your account. Okay. 80, 40 for buyers and 40 for sellers. And you pick the 6 ones that mean the most to you and your business in your market and click marketing tools. This is a setup for the open house. You only have to do this one time, and then these tools kind of sit in the trunk of your car and you use them every time you do an open house. You go to Print Flyer and you download the Print Flyer for your favorite 6 PDF guides. And then you go over to Office Depot or wherever, and you buy one of those little acrylic tabletop stands. You put a piece of paper in it, and you put a different flyer in each one of these. Okay. Why? Because you're branded at the bottom, your face, your contact info, your logo. You put, and people can scan that QR code and download that PDF guide for free. So you put one in the laundry room, you put a different one in the bedroom, you put a different one in the dining room. As people are walking through the open house, they are seeing you and your logo. Okay. So which honestly is very different from the average realtor, right? Here's another thing that's going to blow them away. Each of you have this in your account. Go to Media Library, and we should pop you on this page, Media Library, media from listings leads. It's right here. It's taking a while for me to open it up. And you should all actually download this and put it on your own YouTube channel. It's already on YouTube. So if you point your smart TV, go open up the YouTube app on your smart TV and point it here, you should get familiar with it. There's music on it, right? You don't need to play that music. But you see this? This is a 5-minute commercial of our listing presentation. What I'm holding in my hand here is a print version of our listing presentation. So you could purchase these and have a couple kind of sitting there on the kitchen countertop thing, right? In print. So if you're really having a good conversation, you could give this to them and they will never throw it away. This thing is like quality. Okay. But on the, if somebody's got a 60-inch or 80-inch, and now they're 100-inch TVs, and you have this playing as people are walking through the home, they're going to see that you know how to market homes, right? Because it talks about everything that we do. So the point of the open house, of course, is to sell the home. But for us here, it's also to help you get more listings. And I've shown you the tools that actually is the number one reason that agents are running 2 to 4 open houses every month, because they get listings out of it. They are meeting homeowners, right? Let's see. Yeah, here's something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's why you need to do open house marketing. Any questions about that? because, and let me, because Adrian had a great question, and let me answer a question that was not asked, which is, let's say you talk to somebody in your office, because hopefully you know that you want more listings, because that's why you're sitting on this call. And you probably may not have an open house this week, but you can reach out to your colleagues and say, hey, does anybody have an open house you want me to sit on? And if the answer is yes, go here to listings, click on this green button, click on grab listing, drop in the zip code and the MLS ID and deselect this since it's not your listing, and grab it, and it will show up right here with the open house. And now you can start marketing it in the ways that I just showed you. Okay. So we're almost halfway through this call, and I just want to remind you the things that we're talking about. Please get on this YouTube channel and watch this call with Terry right here. Rookie agent gets a listing with a listing presentation. JJ Newman, rookie agents, 4 listings in 6 weeks. And John, rookie agent, I think calls 5 homeowners, gets in conversations with 2, and one of them is just about to list. And he's going bonkers on this. He's going full stop on reaching out to expired. So get on this page. I think I shared this with you earlier. Make sure you're understanding. You know, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. They all have some really good tips of what's going on. And then the open house marketing, you know, you could look up names like Gordon Day, and he's got open houses, and also Brian Mathieson. Let me see if I can find that for us right now. Because I do have an email. So if you want an email on this particular call, oh, what's happening in my mouse here? Let's see if it's going to work. Oh, I guess my mouse is, or my keyboard is acting up. We'll give it a second to do its thing. So open house expired. So that's first. Okay. And we talked about this in another section regarding open houses, but let's talk about the nearby homeowner letter in the way that our clients have been using it for years. Okay. So let's go over here, open that up. And the nearby homeowner letter has for many years been the top tool for high quality seller leads. So I'm going to show you how to run an ad on Facebook. And yes, it gets seller leads, but the quality is the question, right? What's the quality? When you take a nearby homeowner letter and you mail it out when you have homes that are just listed, and then you sell the home and you mail it out again to say, I've just sold it. This does not get a dozen leads like a Facebook ad. This, if you mail out 100 of these, might get you 1 or 2 leads, maybe 3 if you're lucky. And that is what's taking, you know, these leads had to take a piece of paper that you mailed to them, walk to their own computer, type in this web address, give you their address and email. Not many people will be doing that. And you know who will be doing that? People that are seriously thinking about selling their home. So the question is, how do you get this to homeowners, right? And we have a couple of ways to think about it. One, we have an integrated printer called Express Copy. Okay. They're a printer. And if you have an account with them, you connect it and you have this green button here that says print and email. And you can say, hey, get the mailing list. And what does that mean? That means that you can say, I want Express Copy to download this letter and mail it in a 2-mile radius or whatever you decide. And they only mail it to homeowners that have owned single family homes for more than 6 years. This is kind of what you need to be doing. Well, not kind of. If you want more listings, this is absolutely what you must be doing. And you would certainly do that if you have a listing in an area where you want more listings, right? But what if you don't have your own listings, right? Maybe like we were talking about the open houses, maybe you've got a farm market, like you live in a city, you live in a small town, and your office is 20 miles away or wherever, and you want listings in your town. Well, you talk to your colleagues and find out who has listings in my area, because I'm going to market these tools just the same way here so that I can build my brand in my town, right? And that would be get the nearby homeowner letter. So if I got this sold property and I'm mailing this letter out to people that, own a home, well, Express Copy is going to do it nice and easy for me. Okay. There is one downside to this, and that is that the envelope that they folded in, it's a white envelope and it's printed and it looks fairly generic. Okay. And that's not going to be helpful for you, because if it looks like junk mail, it may not even get opened. Okay. And what is the problem here? Sorry, my mouse is just, or my keyboard just died on me. All right. So we're going to have to just go along. So you want to mail this out. And let me see if I can get over here to the mastermind group. Let's see. So Pat Motley, I showed you how Express Copy can do it. Pat here's been a client of ours, I think, for 14 years. Okay. And she's been in this mastermind group year after year telling us what she does, because she's always getting more listings from this letter. But now she's kind of upped the game and done something that I've never seen. She always prints out 100 just listed, and when it's sold, 100 just sold. Okay. But she does something I've never seen another client do. She flips it over after she prints it, and she uses Microsoft Publisher to print it like that on the back of the same piece of paper. Okay. Then she hand folds and hand writes these. And the point that she's doing this is that she wants to make sure they open it, that this does not get thrown away. Okay. And that little red stamp that looks like it's like a stamp, it's actually done by the computer, right? So she is handwriting this. And she tells us that it took her 4 hours to do that. And I don't know, I know we're all busy people here, but why would she do that if these guys can do it in 2 clicks in about 15 seconds? And the answer is the results. She got 4 homeowners calling her on the first batch, and she got another 4 homeowners calling her on the second batch, and picked up 8 listings from one home, 1 listing, and 200 pieces of mail. Okay. So that's the hard way. A lot of return, right? Can you take, if you can take 1 listing and turn it into multiple, that is the best way of doing it. There's a lot of easier ways. You'll see in the mastermind group. Some people just, they print it on a normal label maker, and they get bright colored envelopes, right? Like blue and yellow and green, so that people don't throw it away. That's it. Just let them open it, because you can tell that the letter is not a heavy read, right? It's like real straightforward. 3 seconds. Do I need my home value or not? If they do, you know what's going to happen. Okay. So getting that into your farm markets has always been number 1. Number 2 is running ads on Facebook. Okay. And this is very easy. The home is sold. It says, hey, another home sold in this town, affect your home value. Boom, create the ad. You don't have to change anything. If you do have this kind of dynamic happening, you can click in here and say, oh, is this going to work? Sold in, my keyboard's working. Yeah. Sold, 5K above asking, right? Whatever, multiple offers, right? These kinds of words get people to slow down and pay attention. So if you've got any of those dynamics happening, put it in here. That's it. Don't make it really wordy. We do see people editing things and adding a lot of text. And, we had a guy come in the mastermind group and complain about, this does not work for me. Okay. And he showed us what he did. He took our text and pasted it. It looked like a book. It looked like an encyclopedia, how much information he had on there. Okay. And let me tell you, we've been doing this for 16 years. People, I don't know if they don't know how to read or they don't like to read, but they don't respond when you give them a lot to read. So just leave it like that, and this will work for you. Okay. So, running a Facebook ad, smart, easy. You get leads with name, email, and phone number. Text the leads first. Okay. That's another conversation, but text the leads first, because if they don't know you, They're not going to want to talk to you, but the leads are good. You've got, eFlyer for your database. If you got a bunch of leads in your CRM, copy this and say, hey, I sold a home. Go here. All of these links are all home value. They're all going to get you seller leads, right? So take your eFlyer for your database, right? You don't need to worry about Craigslist or anything like that. Nearby homeowner letter. That's really it. So over here, another thing. Oh, well, I will say one more thing about the Facebook ad. And this is so it should be a no-brainer. And I'm friends with thousands of realtors on Facebook, and it's really disappointing to see what realtors share on social media because it's usually colorful and they got their colors looking good. And they'll say, hey, I've run an ad, I've sold a home. And the only call to action, there is none. It's like they don't even put their phone number. They just say, here it is, I sold it. When you're doing things with us, there's always call to action. We want contact information, okay? So there's a lot of tools that you can share, a single property website, virtual tour, whatever you want onto social media that will capture leads for you. Now, I'm going to show you this one because it's pending. And a lot of agents don't know that if you market a home that is pending or under contract, it will capture seller leads. So let's go look and run a Facebook ad. And let me talk to you a little bit about Facebook ads and Facebook lead cost. Okay. So when we ran that sold ad, it was $50 ad and the home is sold. Facebook sets a price per lead. If I click this button and I say, hey, Facebook, take my $50 and get me leads. If I run a sold ad, they usually charge $7 to $8 each. Okay. So if you divide 7 into 50, you would expect 7 leads with name, email, and phone number. That's how it works. But not many agents run ads that are pending or under contract. And so Facebook charges you less per lead. We've seen leads come in as little as $4 each with name, email, and phone number of people who want their home values. That's good. More leads for money, right? You might want to test that out a little bit under contract or pending ads. Okay. So let's go talk about PDF guides. So now we know that if we run a sold ad and those leads cost $7, and if I run an under contract ad and those leads cost maybe $4 or $5, I'm getting more leads per dollar, right? But remember when I was talking about the PDF guides and I said there are 40 for homeowners? Well, maybe this is a story, right, that you need to be thinking about, right? What if you want to run 5 dangers of overpricing? Is that relevant in your market? Click marketing tools and run an ad on Facebook. Once you get here, we take you there automatically. And all you got to do is click, bang, create ad. You don't need to change anything. For them to get this lead, they have to give you their name, phone number, and email. It's auto-populated in the lead form. They're not even typing that stuff in. And they can download that automatically. You could text them and say, hey, I see you wanted my download on 5 dangers of overpricing. Did you get that? If not, let me send it to you. And you go grab it and you send it to them, right? These leads often cost $10 or $11 or even $12 each. Okay. So they're definitely more expensive than the sold leads and more expensive than the under contract pending leads. Okay. But if you don't have any listings and you want to just get some conversations going, this could be an avenue. There are 40 different PDF guides, right? You can also run ads on Google with them, right? And you can also, if you've got a big database of homeowners in your CRM, even if you don't know they're homeowners, you could still share these with them because they're still important. They're good branding, and they maybe bought a house and now they're thinking about selling, right? So these are lots of ways to do that. You can run ads on Google. You got postcards, but I would focus on Facebook, Google, and your eFly, hitting your database once a week. And by the way, when you sign up for our system, there's a wizard, right? And that's like, give us your headshot, give us your logo, connect your socials. And we do this thing called free social content. We actually post all of our PDF guides, the buyer and the seller ones, to your social media accounts automatically with landing pages behind it so people can download them for free as long as they give you contact information. So definitely make sure you've got your social content over here set up and that you've connected all of the things, right? You connected, let's that's whatever that is. You need to get over here and get to make sure that on settings, you have connected your social media accounts right here. And let me tell you, if you don't use Google Business, you probably should get Google Business. And if you do use Google Business, make sure you've connected it right here on this social content page, because this constant refresh of content, meaning all the articles under all these sections, is giving SEO to your Google Business pages for free. I mean, you do have to be a client with us, and it does take more than, a week. It takes months to build the SEO. But for somebody to be sitting in your area like Sarasota or New York, you just click, you just add that, and somebody could go, oh, I'm sitting in Sarasota, real estate in Sarasota. Boom, your Google Business page is on page 1 of Google without even paying for ads. Okay, so I see a question here from John. I sent out a Facebook ad in New York on Friday for my condo for sale in Sarasota. Received 7 letters. That was 7 leads. Sorry, that was for a home for sale, John. Because that's usually what, we have clients in Florida, Texas, Arizona, and they are running ads on homes that are for sale in the northern places like Chicago, where it's freezing, and New York, where it's freezing, and Jersey. Those people have equity; they want to move, and so that is one of the smartest things when you have a home for sale. So yeah, our ads work, no doubt about it. Looking through LDL videos, searching for training on the content calendar. Yeah, we don't really have a good video on that. Let's talk about that. So, well, actually, John, I appreciate you asking, because we actually do this for you. So today is Monday, right? It's the 17th. So here we are. That's Monday the 17th. So if I click on this, there's a checklist, okay? And I'm going to download it right now. And what this is, it's how to market a listing, whether it's yours or borrowed. Okay, that's what today's task is. So if we open up the checklist, it tells us these are the things you should do. Run a Facebook ad, get it on social media for free, do short form video, social media for the seller. That's if you're the listing agent only. Hit your database with the eFlyer, database call scripts, and Farm Circle. These are tools that you can use to sort of hit your farm market, right? With that circle prospecting. So that checklist is right there. And view step-by-step guide. What does that mean? Well, there were a lot of steps on that page. These are the ways. This shows you how to do that right on this page, right? So here's the checklist. Here's how you do it. Choose the property that you want to market. I'm going to say open house, and then boom, click market. And it takes you to the place where you do the work. So we really don't have a video on it, but that's the story, John. And that's available for everybody who has an account with us. Okay. And then looking through that. Okay. I think we're good. For my condo. Yeah. No, definitely. Running ads on Facebook is the fastest, easiest way to get buyer leads. You should be doing, as an aside, you should be running ads on Facebook minimally once a week, and honestly for us at least twice a week, and those should be $50 ads. So you're talking about a $400 ad spend. Let me tell you why you want to do that. Each ad is seen by thousands of people, okay, and probably between 1 and 2,500 people on each ad. So if you ran 8 ads every month, which is what 2 ads a week is, your business page sponsored by John the Rockstar Realtor, or whatever your business page is called, is going to be seen somewhere around 10,000 times every month. And I don't know where you guys work, right, where you are in the country, but you're probably competing against thousands of realtors. Some of you 2 and 3,000, and some of you 20 and 30,000. Who actually knows that you are a realtor at any given time? Well, if you're running 2 ads a week for $50 each, thousands of people are going to start getting familiar that you are a realtor. Okay. So running sold ads, stuff like that. Yes. So Kathleen is asking a good question. The sold letters, and I did say this, but just in case, you can go to the listings page. And you know who does this, Kathleen? A lot of agents just, it just totally makes sense. They help somebody buy a home, right? So they've been, working with the listing agent. So they pull the listing in their account and they wait till it's sold and they flip it to sold and they market it and they do just what you're saying right there. But Kathleen, you might have a farm market where you want to build your business, but you don't have listings there. You could talk to your colleagues, people in your office, and say, hey, does anybody have a listing in this town? They say, yes. What's the zip code and MLS ID? It's not my listing. Grab, boom, it will be there. And now the nearby homeowner letter and all the ads and all the stuff is there for you. Okay. So you can definitely do that. So let's talk about landing pages, and let's talk about what we should think about landing pages. So over here, you can create unlimited landing pages with that green button. You can create landing pages for expireds. Well, our clients aren't even waiting for this, but you can do this. And I actually would recommend creating a landing page for expired because we give you some print tools. So if you're really going to focus on engaging the homeowners of expireds, you might want to have an expired page, and I'll show you why in a minute. You can also create a landing page for FSBOs. You just choose that, you type in Sarasota, and you're going to have a page for FSBOs, right? But Property Valuation Plus is the instant home value. So you type in the name of the town and create landing page, and that's going to create as many landing pages as you want. And you can see I have landing pages for instant home value for, everywhere. Here's one for Satellite Beach over in Florida, right? So once you have this, yes, you have an e-flyer that you can blast out on your CRM. Yes, you can run it out on Facebook or Google and get people here, right? There's also a tool, if you remember the nearby homeowner letter, we call it circle prospecting. We used to call it home sold report, but it's here. And this looks a lot like the nearby homeowner letter, but you don't even have a listing. It's just saying, hey, this is what happened in Sarasota this week, okay, or this month. So let's look at it real quick. You might want to get this and mail this into the market, right? You can say, hey, 30 homes sold in Satellite Beach. The high was here. Affects your home value. Boom, go get your home value. Here are your reviews, right? That's like easy. But when it comes to, that expired story, the landing pages and the expireds, they actually have their own. See, I have Walnut Creek expired right here. So let's click on marketing tools. And one thing that I would do, because, expireds, I'm sure you can't call them the day after they expired because those poor people are getting called by dozens of people, right? So you wait a month, maybe 2, and then you reach out. And if they're still waiting, they are ready to talk, okay? But here, I've created an expired landing page for Walnut Creek, and it's pretty cool, right? Why do you think your home didn't sell? I don't know. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was this. I don't know. Get my free review. What's your contact info? What's your address? So if you get this in front of people, great. Well, an easy way to get people in front of that, and I would definitely recommend doing this, is get this door hanger, send it over to Vistaprint or wherever printer you want, and print out 100 or 200, right? And when there is that important expired that you want to reach out to, maybe you've called them. Maybe you texted them. Maybe you went and you printed these up and you just door knocked, right? But maybe you want to just put a door hanger on there. Maybe they just went expired this week and you're like, I'm just going to hang this on their door. I'm not even going to really reach out aggressively. I'm just going to hang this because they're going to see I'm here and then I can help them, right? I actually recommend this. And I would even get postcards and mail it to the same people. And maybe after 30 days, I'm going to call them and then I'm going to bring this over and door knock, right? So you've really you're reaching out to them. You're not totally cold when you reach them. But all of our tools have that, right? All of our tools have that sort of print tools to help you get people to the landing page, okay? Now, the most important landing page that everybody thinks of when they're talking about, here's a question here. Would I wait? I'm going to put this question and show it to everybody. From Linda. And if you don't mind, put your answers, because I think you guys have better answers. Would you wait until after the holidays to market expired? I can tell you, Linda, our clients are not waiting because they're building up the pipeline for next year, right? And people know, like, hey, I wanted to sell my home, it didn't sell, and after the holidays, I want to sell. So getting that conversation going. But if everybody would answer, I'm hearing a lot of no's, maybe they know better than me. I have a lot of clients and they're not waiting for anything. So when we log in, you all get landing pages, and this is the first one you get, okay? And I'm going to show you the number one, it's almost the number one reason that clients get disappointed with home value ads. They click on marketing tools. They know that they recognize that landing page and they know that they can use that. So they go, yeah, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to create that ad. I'm going to type in Omaha, or I'm going to type in Walnut Creek, whatever, right? Whatever town you want. And come on, keyboard, don't do this. Well, anyway, you would type in the name of your town. And the problem is this does not look like your town. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but it really doesn't say anything about your town anywhere, okay? And that's problem number one. Problem number two is we send them to the landing page. And they put in their address and they click the next button and it says, great, give us your email address, right? And people are like, no way, and they leave. That's it, they just leave. So you get a bunch of addresses and you're scratching your head like, whoa, what's this, right? And that's because people don't like to type in their phone number and email anywhere, right? You know why. There's more scams in this world than we have time to talk about today. So what should you do instead? If you're going to use this generic one, which I really don't recommend for a Facebook ad at all, I would, the bare minimum, change it from, on Facebook, from a traffic ad to a lead ad, okay? Because what that means is when they click on it, their name, email, and phone number pops up, automatically pulled from their profile. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And they answer these questions, and their name, email, and phone is pre-populated. This form is pre-populated. Said, would you like your home value? And it says, yes, submit my info. So they know they are giving you their information, okay? And it's there. Because you're not going to get a name, email, and phone number from this page. It's just not going to happen. It's just human nature, right? If we were like at the beginning of the internet where there weren't scams every which way, maybe, but we're not in that world anymore. And you know that you're getting scams on your phone, in your email, on your text messages. They're all over the place. So why is somebody going to put that there? That's why you need to be leaning on our lead forms. Gets a lot of leads, name, email, and phone number. And I said somebody, who was it, said that just ran an ad up in New York, getting leads right there. Same thing. What I would recommend is that you go to create landing page and you create a property valuation plus for whatever town you're thinking of, right? And let's see here. Okay, I'm not going to waste your time there because I actually have one created here for Walnut Creek, okay? And the picture in the background, it's actually the mall from Walnut Creek. And Walnut Creek is this kind of a small town, 30 minutes out of San Francisco. This mall is so popular that 6 million people come here every year. It's awesome, And I'm not going to run a traffic ad. I'm going to do a lead ad because I want to make sure my leads have name, email, and phone number. And then you would see that, okay, well, my page has a picture of Walnut Creek. Maybe it's the big school. Maybe it's the bridge. Maybe it's the town hall. Maybe it's a mall or even a popular restaurant. That all works. But here I'm going to type in Walnut Creek. Okay. And if my keyboard worked, which I'm literally going to drive over it when I get off this call. Sorry. I could type in Walnut Creek, and I want to show you why that's not necessarily going to work well. Now, I don't know where you guys live. Oh, God. Sorry, guys. But let me just tell you why that won't work. Walnut Creek is a small town, and right next to it, like literally across the street, is another small town. Okay. And that goes on for, I don't know, for 50 miles, right? 100 miles in every direction. So if I type in Walnut Creek here, it's going to be showing other people who live, like it's going to show it to at least 1 million people who don't live in Walnut Creek. And that's not very good for my ad. Okay. Now, if you live out in like the rural area, 15-mile radius may be no problem. But if you live in a place that is dense, like on almost any coast, excluding Seattle and or Washington and Oregon, you got density. You've got town after town after town and thousands of people. And that's why this doesn't work. So there is something, and this is kind of getting in the weeds. So I'm going to show you right now. And then you can think about this. We've talked about ads, but you can actually go buy. Remember I mentioned MyPlus Leads? There are companies that sell lists of homeowners with more than 5 years equity. And if you want to run ads and really target those people, you could click this button that says create audience, and you could buy that list and you could call it Walnut Creek Homeowners, and you could upload it and import it, and it will live inside your Facebook account. So when you're running those ads that are strictly for Walnut Creek Homeowners, you're not doing a 15-mile radius of people that are just driving through. You are literally hitting the homeowners that you know own a home because you paid for that list somewhere else. Is everybody following that one? A couple points. It has to be at least 1,000 names long. So if you're working at a small neighborhood or development and there's 500 names on that, you got to pad it. It will not work unless it's 1,000 leads long. Okay. Now let's see if I can show you some options. At this point, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me. There's been a lot here. Are there any questions? While I'm waiting for those answers, let me show you a couple companies that sell you the data that I'm talking about. Listsource.com, okay, archagent.com, redx.com, and even Remind.com. Now, I will say a lot of agents have told me, hey, Remind is just not that good. It's just not that good of data. But everybody, I think, knows Remind, and actually some MLSs have it built in. So I know that title officers can also get this for you, but they don't get you name. They get you name and mailing address. You want name, email, phone number, because you need that for Facebook. And the mailing address, well, that you want that because you want to mail the nearby homeowner letters or just sold postcards, right? So I hope this helped you. There are a lot of ways of getting seller leads with us. And I'm going to remind you, using our expired marketing and our open houses is the best way. But once you've done that, make sure you're leveraging our listing presentation to make a unique, personalized listing presentation for that homeowner before you meet them. Okay? We're really excited about this. Every day of the week, some client is saying, I use it this way. I'm using your listing presentation. I get more listings, right? If you want to reach out to FSBOs, create a listing presentation. If you want to definitely have an open house or borrow somebody's thing there. Oh, where are the door hangers? Yeah, okay, good question. So I mentioned that we all have landing pages, and you can create expired landing pages. And actually, we're going to be going to a new platform here, new listings to leads, and the new clients will have an expired landing page already created, but you can always create yours up top. And I have an expired one right here for Walnut Creek. So if I click on marketing tools, there are multiple marketing tools. And Wade, the door hangers are right here and the postcards. And so you don't have to use Vistaprint. I know I mentioned that. You know, Amazon has printing now, and you probably have local printers. There's a lot of places. Are we offering a promo code to try the free agent launch plan? Besides the free trial, no, Adriana, that's the free deal there. 2 weeks, yeah. And all the tools I'm showing you, they're all included in that plan. And I mentioned this earlier, Adriana, and maybe you weren't here. This lady right here, we just did a call with her last week, was on a 2-week free trial, had a seller lead. We created the listing presentation, and before her trial turned into a paid account, she has the listing, right? So don't do what a lot of agents do, which is they sign up, the phone rings, and they forget to log in for 2 weeks. We have other agents that sign up, do all the setup wizard, they borrow a listing, they pull it in, they run an ad, maybe they run it in New York, who knows? They're getting leads in 1 day, right? Even sometimes in a couple of hours. This lady right here, Terry Ann, had a listing lead. We created that unique listing presentation. She closed that in her first week with us, and by then is already running ads and getting buyers right since then. So this thing works like right off the bat. If you feel like you need more time, to think about it, get on our YouTube channel or take a few more calls so that you can just get up and running. We do live training 5 days a week. I hope this class helped everybody. If there are no more questions, I appreciate you being here. Get in the mastermind group. I sent you the link to that. We have a great support team. They're super fast and easy. Reach out to them if you have any questions. If you need a team account or a broker account, reach out to me. My contact information is on our website somewhere. I think it's on the office pages. So if you need a team account or if you have any kind of questions, if you want my email on the expired marketings or on our open house marketing, let me know. Just email me at Vincent Listings to Leads. I think my contact is here. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, that's interesting. Here, schedule a demo. I think it's right here somewhere. But Vincent Listings to Leads if you need it. How do we turn on automated follow-up? Well, you go over to follow-ups here, Linda, and you'll have some gray buttons that say off. You just click them and that turns them on. Okay. That's the email follow-up. Okay. We have a high open rate and we get in the inbox. If you go to lead ads, you can turn on AI text follow-up, which is converting 14% of our leads to phone calls. That is an extra cost. So that's an extra cost. But if you're going to be running 2 ads a week, text those leads as you're getting them until they're ready to talk. And, by the end of the month, you will not have time to be working all those leads. And that's when you want to turn on the AI text follow-up. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great week. One pro tip about Facebook, that I mentioned that the lead cost is set by Facebook. And it's November here, and in just over a week, everybody's going to be starting to chow down on turkey. And your competitors, realtors just like you, are going to take a nap until spring. And that means the competition for your ads is going to drop. And that means your lead cost will drop. And some years we've seen it drop by 50%. You're getting leads for 50 cents on the dollar. We've even seen leads drop by 90%. So you're getting leads for 10 cents on the dollar. You want to run ads over the holidays. That is my point. Have a great holiday season, everybody. Hopefully we see you on some calls and you get more familiar with our platform. We're in the mastermind group. Check us out there. And have a great day. Thanks for being here.